Welcome. The date is a beautiful Indian summer afternoon, 11/4/20. It's the Wednesday meeting for November of the Penfield Trails Committee, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 meeting members, and I am 9, and we probably will have stragglers. First thing we do, beginning of every monthly meeting with the Trails Committee, is review Eleanor Hartquist's minutes from the last monthly meeting in October. The October 6th version of what we did here, which is also on film on Wednesday, October 6th. It should be in the can. So, take a look at the minutes, please, and let me know if you have questions or seconds. This meeting has been called to order. One thing I will mention is that the request to move the meetings to Wednesday, we approved it. So this is a Wednesday, and we will also, our next meeting will be December 2nd, Wednesday, 2020. Right here, 5 o'clock.
Okay. I move the minutes be accepted as presented.
Mr. Lundquist moves to approve. Mr.
Second.
Second from Terry. All right. Agenda for November. Committee discussion. Review hike results from October 10th, Saturday, Lucian Moore, known more colloquially as the Rifle Range Park hike at 10 o'clock. Weather was fabulous, Indian summer. We had 4 staff, and we signed up and led 8 hikers. I led it. I got them up to the big ridge. We walked the ridge back and forth, but I was aware that some of the people were not quite in good enough shape to go down to the backwater and come back up the ridge a second time before we went home. So we took about an hour, 40 minutes. We tried to infer their understanding of the old topography of the rifle range, which was pristine, bowling condition green outdoor manicured courts, both the rifle range and the pistol range. And somehow all those years of overgrowth, the old clubhouse is completely gone, taken over by vegetation, and the old 2-car garage, the foundation is still there. One of the drive-in brick posts still stands. So there are inferred clues and a lot of woods when you go enjoy the rifle range. Okay, we have a hike coming up combined with an invitation to Pittsford Recreation and anybody that likes to hike in Pittsford. We're going to go to Powder Mill Park on Saturday, November 14th at 10 o'clock. It'll be the west parking lot entrance, which is just down the street from the elementary school on Park Road. Look for the hike signs. They will be there at the west parking lot. Now, do I have anybody that's going to help me poke around Powder Mill Park that day? Eileen, thank you. I will bring the signs in the registration box. I will send out a couple reminders about the hike on our email list. Eagle Scout projects update. 4 Mile Creek Park is now hikeable with 3 trail loops. We will take this map. I will meet with Tommy DeFranco to help him complete his project at 4 Mile Creek Park. There are 3 walkable trail loops. He has installed a boardwalk across the creek to get to the other side. It's 21 acres bisected by 4 Mile Creek with 2 bogs and a second growth forest. Obviously, the land was tilled agriculturally at one time. It looks like to me it probably, they quit during the Depression. So you have a second growth forest in most of the other areas. The parking lot is in, the kiosk is up. When Tommy gets this absolutely good map, thank you Dave Sangster, Planning Department, marked up with the trail loops, we'll put it in the kiosk so people can actually refer to it and enjoy their hiking from now on. Thank you, Tommy DeFranco. Immediate Trails Needs Report. I submitted some of the surveys that I did on the various town parks to Tim last time out. I haven't added any to it, but two will be shortly turned into both Andy and Tim to see how we need to do to upgrade and get the park in tip-top shape. I will be doing Sherwood Fields, Harris Whalen Park, and Veterans Memorial Park shortly. Anybody else been hiking? Any obstacles across our hiking trails that we've seen recently?
Yes. Chanfield Brook Park, short walk from the parking lot, headed toward 5 Mile Line, I guess. There's a tree down, almost blocking the path completely. Almost. You can go around it, but it's a pretty big tree.
Is it the Home Depot side or the other side?
No, it's the other side.
Is it anywhere near Fisher Scientific Bridge?
The bridge that's there, the old bridge?
No,
Yeah.
the big old concrete bridge over at Fisher Scientific.
Yes, it is. It's not too far away from that.
Tree down,
Yes.
blocking the hiking. All right, that should go into the notes, and Tim, make a note, please. Conservation Board, Ed?
Well, my delegate is sitting right there. She's the one that keeps track. She's listed as part of the Conservation Board. From
Is
the
it
Trails
happening
Committee.
tonight? No.
No, next week.
Anything hot to report from Conservation Board?
No, they,
The only thing they were working on was the new office park on Penfield Road there behind they had some problems with the developer. It might behoove you to go there, look around there if you'd like, or talk to the Conservation Board and find out what they're gonna do. Because there were some trees knocked down that weren't supposed to be knocked down.
well, it's too late then.
Pardon?
It's too late then.
No, it isn't too late, because if they go after the developer, they make them plant new trees. If they knock down things they aren't supposed to,
Are they the same ones they had an issue with last year, or is this a new?
well, this is the building that's closer to Panorama Creek Drive there. The other one was up on the hill that they started doing it, and I don't know, I haven't been in the area there for a while. But whether the road got dedicated yet or not, I don't know.
I walked it a year ago,
Did you?
yeah.
Well, the Conservation Board knows which trees are knocked down.
They've been down there and did a survey, and they wrote a report.
Well, let's just make a note of it that the Conservation Board, indirectly through this report that's on the film here,
Right.
should take a look at it. Right?
I think it's still on their agenda. I don't think they've resolved the whole problem there yet.
All right, Ed Lindskog and I sat down three or four Saturdays ago at his place, and we finally knocked out the master map that will be submitted to the planning department with textual references to each of the locations as well, for going into the future, what easements should be preserved in the town of Penfield. And I refer to this map right here. All the golden areas and all the text that will represent each of these areas, that attention should be paid in the future years to making sure that these easements are at least ambitiously attempted to be secured to add to our trails.
Alice, do we have a list of current easements that are in place?
That's not what this is.
No, I know it isn't.
Well, I'm just reporting what this map will be submitted for to the planning department. Now, you have a comment? Let's go. Go.
Do we have a list of current easements?
Do I? Do
we
you?
maintain them, who maintains them, and so on?
Well, I imagine a town would have some kind of list, right?
Are you aware of easements that are in place?
I know on our GIS forms and all that stuff we can look up to see where we have easements, but I don't know if there's like a physical list or anything that we can print out or that kind of stuff.
Who maintains the trails on the easements?
We have a ditching crew right now that's out. I'd have to get back to you on that, to be honest.
That'd be a good item for next month's meeting.
Which is what?
What Tim's gonna do for us.
Try to do for you.
No, Ed, you need to state your concern clearly. Do we, who we, do? Does the Penfield Trails Committee or who, what entity should have this list?
So what,
Well, the
What I'm
Parks
trying-
Department has the list.
well, we might have the list, but we have, on the town website, or on the town GIS, which is the map of the whole town, you can click on certain easements that we have. But I would need it to, some direction on how to narrow it down to what areas or whatever, because we have easements all over the place, just to get into, backyards, through people's yards for electrical and that kind of stuff, and sewer. So we'd have to narrow it down to certain areas and certain.
Right, what areas and adjacent to parks and things like
Okay.
that. That's what we're looking for.
Okay, next to parks and all that.
Yeah,
Didn't we get that last year? Did I give it to you?
because I know there's easements from different subdivisions to some of the parks.
Mhm.
Those are the ones we'd be concerned about.
Okay.
Who maintains,
All right, but that list, that textual list of ambitions for what we should regard in the future that's on that map, well, I'll also make sure that Tim and Andy have a copy of it.
Yeah,
So
we could-
it's referenced here, there, and in the planning department.
right, and we can draw them on the map.
Ed,
Okay.
do you have any maps or anything?
Take your mask off so I can hear you.
I'll ask you.
Okay, Eagle Scout habitat location update for Carpenter Bee's location review. The Scout is going to finish the bee homes or houses this winter. She is not in any hurry to locate them till the appropriate time next spring. So Tim and I looked over at our original thoughts at Shadow Pines, and Tim had a concern. Tim, is that concern still even stronger now?
Yes, because of cross-country that's been going on there the last couple weeks or whatever. We have a meet this Saturday also, and that trail runs right next to where that spot was. So we're gonna have to come up with a new area
No,
for
I
those.
already have it. We will come up with the perfect habitat away from any activity out at Sherwood Fields. And we will also make sure that that appropriate sign, even though it'll be way off trail, is also labeled in there by the project, so it's understood not to mess with it. Doesn't mean that our vandals won't mess with it, but the people that would respect it would understand it. So the sign will be one of the requirements for the bee houses.
Nels, do you know how many bee houses she's constructing?
4.
4? Nice.
And you and I can review that with plenty of time, the exact spot. That when she's ready to go with the houses, we can, take her right there.
Are they going on trees or are they going on posts?
Poles.
Poles, okay.
And we know this much from the Bay Trail biologists who inspired this, that we need bushes or shrubbery where they can be inserted right underneath, and then a wide open pollinating field right next to it is the ideal habitat. And since there's commission ditch, they can go get the water, the bees, mind you, can go water up at the commission ditch. Thank you, Tim, for evaluating that. All right, I mentioned the town trail survey reports. We got some done last, for the October meeting, and I've submitted them to Andy and Tim already for commentary. I will continue, which is a project I want to finish. I'll continue finishing our town parks way before the December meeting and have those results ready for your perusal in December 2nd. All right, now we've reached the point where these items together, pick them out, please. Make sure you've got them. This is something we need to do annually for the Trails Committee, and that is come up with our calendar for 2021 on our monthly hikes, where we're gonna do them and when. So, if you'll note on your 2021, and here's your dates for 2021 for the same hikes. So I'm gonna refer to both, please put them together in your head and understand my logic. We have a new park on, it's not online, but it's hikeable, and we should showcase it. And I'd like to take 4 Mile Creek Park, Penfield, and use that for the March 2021 hike. I'd like to kick Shadow Pines, the best, to my mind, and you can comment on this, the best time to hike in the entire year is October on trails. And so I'd like to showcase Shadow Pines next October as our monthly hike. We never did our June hike for 2020 because of COVID. So I'd like to go right back and try it this year at Webster 4 Mile Creek Park. Webster 4 Mile Creek Park. They have a great hiking group in Webster, and we give them the word, they join us and double our numbers. What, at the northeast corner of Phillips and Lake Road, it is a fabulous little pocket habitat hiking park. I can't tell you how well that's constructed and where it takes us. So I'd like to keep that on the menu for June of 2021, which then leaves us for November. So any other suggestions for bumping things around for next November, I'm open to it.
Well,
And I had one thought, do you want to skip the rifle range one year or stick it in November? Just one thought.
well, it would probably be a little muddy in November. We shouldn't do too many hills. That's my thought. You know, try to keep things flat for November, but not really lowlands.
Well, there's Sherwood Fields,
Sherwood Fields for November.
Yeah, we've done that.
and sometimes if we get a good Indian summer day,
Yeah. Where is Sherwood Fields otherwise? Is it on here this year?
it wasn't on
I
here.
haven't like that in a couple of years, have we?
Probably 3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We post
Sherwood
the
Fields
park
is an
again,
offer.
What do you mean posted?
Against hunting.
Yeah, it's posted.
It is posted,
Yeah.
okay.
That's 240-acre open area hiking bisected by the commission ditch with 2 boardwalk bridges of outstanding construction. So, Sherwood Fields, going once? Twice? Okay. Excellent, we have dates, escorted hikes, and Paula in the rec office will be glad to get this tomorrow, and she will make up the new book leaf calendar that we'll have on display. Take with us on the hikes for 2021. Thank you.
And Nels? For the February hike that you and I had talked about, where last year we had the winter family sledding and snow event under the full moon. We're actually, with everything going on with COVID, we're trying to maybe do that on a monthly basis. So every full moon, January, February, March, as long as there's snow and weather pending. So I'll reach out to you. It'd be great to have, the Trails Committee with people. That's gonna be at the top of Harris Wayland pretty much every time. But I'll send those dates out to you once we know the full moon weekend. But it'll probably be that Friday night, whatever it is.
Well, the full moon this year is February 26th.
We're thinking of doing it in January, March, hopefully not in April.
And not do it in February?
No, we would do it February as well, but add those other 2 months as well as an extra, just same place. We don't have to advertise it too much. It'll be kind of a pop-up thing based on weather.
But you could put it in scenic treks.
I think we're gonna hold off and kind of just do it as a social media and e-news thing, just as long as the weather cooperates and there's snow that weekend, we might do it like a week or two out.
Last year, for everybody, edification on film here, we had a very successful full winter moon sledding party at Harris Wayland. And then we marked up both cross-country and snowshoe trails in Harris Wayland. 2 different loops that we took 2 different groups out on during the sledding party. So Andy, is the COVID concerns gonna cut down on that kind of offering?
No, we're thinking the opposite. We're thinking of expanding more because it's an outdoor activity during the winter to get people to be outside more. Obviously, we'll have social distancing and things like that, but most likely, we won't be able to provide snowshoes unless the school lets us. And if they do, I can't think of many restrictions other than, if we have to, we'll spray them down, but I don't know how much that we'll have to do over the winter. So we're hoping to have more activities be outside with people cooped up kind of inside during COVID.
And would you have a fire and everything like we did last?
Yep,
last
it would
year?
basically be
Good.
the same thing every month, we're planning on definitely doing it in February along with the Trails Committee on the 26th. Then also expanding to January and March, weather depending.
The point being, folks, if we get snow in January, snow in February, snow in March, during the closest possible, Friday night, if we think we want to do?
Yep, mostly, we'll
Close-
try for the Friday.
Closest Friday to the full moon of both January, February, and March, there will be a sledding party at Harris Wayland.
Sounds great. Sounds good.
Okay. Anybody else got some new business? Open floor. Ed?
Did you get in touch with Linda Cole, our liaison to the town?
She is on the email list.
She is.
She is.
So she got our minutes,
She got our agenda,
she got our agenda, okay,
and she got the reminder of the agenda.
okay. Thank you,
This agenda,
yeah.
yeah. So, if we see her, let's remind her in person and invite her to the December 2nd Wednesday meeting. Anybody else open floor?
Just a quick-
Andy, any other things on COVID you want to comment on, generally speaking?
No, not really. Numbers are starting to rise again, so, hopefully people are doing masking and hand sanitizing and the 6 feet distancing, but we're kind of just going day by day and doing as much as we can in the rec department.
All right, so I will send out reminders about the Powder Mill west entrance parking lot location with signs as a reminder leading up to the November 14th Powder Mill Park hike. I will also be working on park trail survey that we haven't done already, and getting them to Andy and Tim. And then I will be submitting the written forms of our master future easement list that goes along with what's on the map to the planning department, to Tim and to Andy. All before our next meeting, which is Wednesday, 5 o'clock, December 2nd, right here. So we have had a meeting.
Now, for the November hike, we've had a couple people call in. If they sign up to register to hike, can they bring their dog if it's on a leash?
No,
No.
No dogs?
we had
No
problems.
dogs.
When we first started the Trails Committee over 20 years ago, people used to bring dogs and we had problems.
Okay.
So we decided no dogs on hikes.
Okay, sure, we'll let them know.
Yeah, okay, yeah, and I'll go over that list as we get towards the 14th. Just to reinforce, if they call in and want to join us, to look for the hike signs, look for the hike signs. All right,